Good afternoon, everyone. It's Weather United here, and in today's update, we are taking a look at a pattern change that is coming into the U.S. with warmer weather expected back east with colder and wetter weather back west. Now, before I do get started, on November 8th, 2022, in literally about 3 weeks from today, a total lunar eclipse will begin on this YouTube channel at 12 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Invite your friends, invite your family, have some popcorn, because we're going to be live streaming this for about 6 or 7 hours here at Weather United. So make sure you set your reminders. I am going to create that live stream today, so you all will be able to see it on the channel, and that's the next live stream that we will be doing. With that being said, let's get started and look at our European model for the next couple of weeks, because yep, there are pattern changes coming, including the threat for maybe some severe weather in the high plains by the early part of next week. So there's some activity that is going to be brewing yet again in the Midwest, and especially in the Pacific Northwest. So for Wednesday morning, that is tomorrow morning, of course, we have our area of low pressure in the Great Lakes, bringing quite a bit of snow there in the upstate portion of Michigan, with over 18 inches of snow that has fallen in a couple of areas up there. Quite a bit for mid-October, and some much colder temperatures. That's why there's hard freeze watches, there's freeze warnings, there's a lot going on with as far as temperatures go. That's going to continue all the way to Thursday into Friday before the pattern finally changes, where we get more of a zonal flow. So that means winds coming from the west to the east, and that means kind of the cold air gets cut off. So going into the weekend, there's our system actually, let's go into Friday. Friday afternoon, rain, wind, snow showers in the Pacific Northwest. The rain is really going to get turned on. Atmospheric river moisture is going to be a big problem. Then into Idaho, Montana, Northern California, Oregon, Washington by Saturday. Colder temperatures will follow. A huge different pattern change coming your way. In fact, over the last few days, it's been extremely warm in Seattle, where temperatures got close to 90 degrees, very close to all-time records for the month of October. Actually, that might have been an all-time record. I'll have to check that out. But either way, it's been very, very warm, if not hot up there for mid-October. But pattern change does come this weekend. Snow showers in Nevada, in the Pacific Northwest, part of that system that's going to be moving into the northern Rockies, the Great Basin, and then eventually ejecting out of the high plains and off the Rockies by early next week. So probably by Sunday, maybe even into Monday, we're talking about a pretty intense energetic system, a short wave that is going to be negatively tilted according to the European model. We're really going to have to watch for the possibility for severe weather. Right now, the SPC does not have any outlook or any thing out as far as a slight risk or a 15% for day 4 or day 5, but I'm very sure we're going to have a slight or enhanced risk for severe weather. And yes, I will be live streaming on this event if it does become significant enough, and if it precludes any live streaming threshold for my channel. But either way, very, very strong system by early next week. By Monday, 974 millibar system. Heavy snowfall. Look at that snowfall over, say, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Wow, that is some medium to dark blue colors, so you're going to be talking about a lot of snow, possibly a few feet of snowfall in that area. And then another system slams the Pacific Northwest by the middle of next week, October the 26th. So this whole weather pattern, folks, is out of control. It's haywire. It's literally colossal. It's pretty extreme, and we can blame La Nina for that, right? So by Wednesday, by Thursday, it continues. Another snowstorm coming off of the Rockies, potentially by the end of next week. Not this week, but the end of next week, October the 28th into the 29th. But hey, that's really far out, right? That's just how it's going to be. European model has a history of being pretty accurate in the medium range, but you never know what the pattern could kind of come at you. All right, so temperature anomalies. This is a big deal. Much colder temperatures. Record-setting Arctic air in place right now through Wednesday morning. In fact, the coldest temperatures are yet to come. Today is the coldest day. Tomorrow could be the coldest morning. So if you're waking up in the morning, you might even be waking up to teens in the 20s. So any livestock, any pets and plants need to be brought inside to prevent any further damage. All right, because these temperatures are going to be very, very serious to any livestock outside. And outdoor piping as well. Some bursting pipes are a possibility because of how cold these temperatures will be. Temperatures well below average for your Wednesday, so not even far above average or even average. Going to be much colder than normal out there. And then guess what? By the weekend, where's the cold air at? Maybe across the southeast, but look at the northern plains. You're going to be literally 15 to 20 degrees above average. Like, whoa. The whole pattern's going to just do a full 180. It's just going to change pretty substantially. That continues into maybe Sunday. So cold back west. Whoa, look at that. Back east. Whole different season. You're gonna probably feel like summertime, maybe early fall instead of wintertime. That's pretty significant. And then, I mean, just gonna continue into Monday, into Tuesday. Really no significant Arctic intrusions, of the exception of the Pacific Northwest. Look at the Four Corners. Look at California. Could have temperatures close to 30 degrees below average by the end of the forecast. So, wow. Huge 180 flip, everyone. It's going from Arctic chill in the east to really warm summer-like temperatures in the Great Lakes and also in the Midwest. So yeah, the coats and heavy jackets, you're going to need them at least through Saturday, even into Sunday. But after that, you can shed layers, get the tank tops out, and get swimming in the pools because it's going to be quite warm. Why is that? Well, let's take a look at the ensemble forecast. This is a European model. This is my favorite model that I love to look at in the medium range because it's pretty accurate. But with the ensemble, we can even look in the long range. So this is ran by 50 different members that run the operational deterministic model. So this is the ensemble, put all of the model, the members together into one, and this is what we get. We get an average scenario. So by Thursday morning, we can see below average heights here. We know that's where the trough is. We know that's where the ridge is. Back west, that's why we're going to see some much warmer temperatures this week into maybe Saturday. And then by Sunday, the pattern changes. Look at this. You can see trophy type weather. Colder than normal average temperatures are expected because of that the Aleutian low, the Pacific Northwest trough is going to intensify, and then you can see the pattern here. Above average heights in a large scale sense over the eastern half of the U.S. with lower than average heights over the western half of the U.S. So the whole pattern is going to go from this, all right, pay attention, to this. So a whole flip. Literally in about 5 days, we're going to have a whole different pattern setting up. All right, so keep that in mind. Warm back east, cold back west, thanks to the trough that's going to be in place. And this is going to continue, maybe turning more zonal by the middle of next week. But either way, there's going to be some warmer air advecting from the Gulf of Mexico, kind of advecting northward. So we're going to have some warmer temperatures, even so we have below average heights. Got to understand, though, when you get more of a south or kind of a zonal flow, kind of in out of the west-southwest and even out of the west, you tend to pull in warmer air, and there's not much extremes in terms of the temperature swings that you typically see, and that's what's going to happen. But maybe more extreme by the time we go into the end of next week, October the 27th and the 28th, as again, we have above average heights here. This is basically a topographical map of the atmosphere with lower than average heights over the Pacific Northwest. And that pattern continues for a while. And the pattern remains very zonal. So this Arctic intrusion is not going to last for too much longer. And then by next week, you're going to be like, ah, yes, it's warm. It's lovely. I love it. Until it gets too warm for too long. And then you're going to be like, can we get some Arctic intrusions, please? Well, looks like it's not going to happen anytime soon, at least on the European ensemble forecast. And this goes all the way out to 360 hours. and we still see more of that zonal flow, above average heights for a large scale area of the United States. Now, the Climate Prediction Center does issue your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook on a daily basis, and we can see these are chances. This is not intensity, folks. This is not showing you 5 to 10 degrees below average. This is showing you the chances that you could see above or below average temperatures, okay? So areas in the lightest orange are leaning above average temperatures, versus areas in the lightest blue are leaning below average temperatures. And then when you get in the darker blues, that's likely below average and likely above average in the darker red and pink colors that you see here in the Pacific Northwest. So we can see 6 to 10 day outlook all the way through October the 28th, as we just illustrated on the ensemble forecast, as well as the temperature anomaly forecast. Above average chances are extending across the high plains into the eastern half of the U.S., including the New England area and the upper Great Lakes and the upper Midwest, including the Southeast, with leaning below and likely below average temperature chances for the Pacific Northwest and for the west coast of California, which is nice to see. Nice to see a change back there. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. This runs all the way into the first day of November, still leaning below average as far as temperatures go in across the western half of the U.S., with leaning above average temperatures and likely above for the Midwest, for the upper Great Lakes, for the New England, for the Mid-Atlantic coast, and for the southeastern U.S., including for the Deep South, but not super substantial at this point. It's just leaning above average, then say that we would likely see a 90 to 100% chance, something like that, with above average. So at least not very extremely likely, but there's a chance that that does happen. As far as your rainfall, snowfall, temperature, or precipitation outlook goes for October 24th through the 28th, leaning above to likely above for the Pacific Northwest, with likely above average for rainfall or snowfall, depending on the temperatures and stuff, likely rainfall for the Midwest through October the 28th. As far as the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook goes through November 1st, likely above average for the Pacific Northwest, leaning above average for California and Nevada, leaning below average for the Deep South, including for the High Plains into Missouri, and leaning above average there for rainfall for the southeastern U.S. and for the Mid-Atlantic coast. But really, the Pacific Northwest could have some flood problems, as you can see here, with heavy precipitation likely for October the 26th through the 28th included in green, and then heavy snow chances likely for October the 26th through the 28th for the northern Cascades, including for portions there of the southern Cascades of Oregon and Washington. So keep that in mind. Some really nasty weather, very strong winds, heavy snow, possible flood problems could increase for these areas. All right, so keep that in mind. But otherwise, much of the U.S. here looking pretty quiet as far as your hazards outlook running through the 8 to 14 day period. As always, before I do in the video, a very important announcement. If you didn't get that in the beginning of the video, I am mentioning it again at the end of this video. Weather United is hosting a live lunar eclipse live stream on November the 8th, 2022. It will begin at 12 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 3 in the morning Eastern Daylight Time, and this will be a total lunar eclipse of the blood moon on election day. By the way, it's just kind of hilarious. It's happening on election day, which is on November the 8th. Actually, midterm elections, not the full presidential election. So it just kind of teeters in with what this is all going to be timed with. So if you all want to participate on Weather United, watching the total lunar eclipse, that event again begins at 12 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That would be a Tuesday. Yes, that would be a Tuesday. So if you want to come on down and watch me, live stream will be created on my channel this afternoon. So you'll be able to have plenty of notice for me to live stream on this cool, awesome, celestial event. All right, but anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Share, like, subscribe, and yeah, it really helps out. I will be back with you more tomorrow evening with more awesome weather content. Don't miss out.